This is an introduction to auditing as a Web 3 class. So when you first come into your course, I'm going to just switch it real quick and enter the student view. You're going to pop into the announcements. So here I have a little announcement about our VITA program, but every week you'll have like a welcome to week 1 or week 2, and it's going to give you a little, obviously this week is a larger one because it's a welcome to the class. So it's giving you a little essentials about what the class is going to be about and how it's all set up. But each week you'll have an announcement. So please take the time to read those. It also notifies you what week we're in, just in case as the semester goes on you lose track. But if you go into our Start Here tab, here's where I have the class syllabus files, and then just some kind of basic expectations of the course and the welcome into the course. But if we open those class syllabus files, the one that of course you want to look at probably the most is your actual class syllabus. So that is like the contract between you and I regarding this course, and it shows you how the grades are awarded and all the requirements of the course. So we'll have 4 tests in auditing. Nothing is comprehensive. You see, as we go through here, we cover a lot of chapters on one test. So there's going to be a lot of chapters in the course as a whole. So I don't have any comprehensive final at the end. It's just a little bit too much. But since that's the case, and this is an upper level accounting course, you are required to complete all 4 tests. So I have that down here in the class policies. When you get into the testing, which I guess is right here. So here it tells you all 4 tests are required to be completed. So you'll have your test dates at the bottom of the syllabus, in Blackboard, in your My Accounting Lab, where the tests are actually completed. So you'll know when they are, but if you ever miss any, just email me immediately and say, hey, I was sick, I was out of town, whatever the story was, so that we can get you to complete the test, because you have to complete all 4 tests. Then you'll have chapter homework and chapter quizzes. So each chapter we cover has a homework and a quiz to complete in the My Accounting Lab, which I'll show you where that link is. Then what I've also done is assigned different Excel assignments. With the CPA exam and accounting as a career option, companies really expect students to come out of college knowing how to use Excel and being comfortable with it. Sometimes they even test you on it in the interview process. So the more you can do it, the better off your career chances are. So we're trying to embed it in more and more of our classes. So there are some that are with the textbook. So those will be assigned to you, and they're 5 points each. So then just watch. Every chapter doesn't have one. So just go through the chapters and figure out which chapters I have those Excel projects or Excel assignments. Then the same thing with the data analytics. Those are also just in the back of the chapter, and they're provided by the publisher. And they kind of go hand in hand with the Excel, because you want to be able to look at Excel documents or look at reports and be able to make decisions based on those reports, or take data and prepare a graph or something meaningful for someone to look at and to use. So those 2 are each worth 5 points. Not every chapter has one, but as they have them, I will assign those. Then there's this Pinnacle case that goes throughout the text. So each, it's not every chapter, but several of the chapters at the end of it will have this Pinnacle case, and then it keeps building. I like the Pinnacle case because it takes the material that you're learning inside that chapter and apply it to an actual scenario. So this company, and I feel like it's a little bit like of a real life application, but they are lengthy. So what I've done is I'm going to assign them to a group of students. Now I'm not real structured on that. What I will do though is there'll be enough group members that each individual student will have one of those Pinnacle cases to take the lead of. What I let kind of happen is how you guys then want to divvy out the work is up to you, but I want everybody to be involved. So there'll be a person that leads each one, and again, that person will rotate. But then I want every member to help that person. So maybe not, though there may not be enough like requirements for each person to have their own, but help that person in any way you can. So there'll be one submission for each group, and hopefully everybody just kind of sharing ideas and helping each other like learn that material, and then put that together. So that's kind of the goal of it, just because it's kind of time consuming for each individual student to do it. But as a group, I feel like you guys can work together and learn that. And there'll be 5 of those. You can see we cover a ton of chapters in this class. So all of those chapters are the ones that we cover. And then again, if we go down to the bottom, you've got like a calendar that shows you the due date. So what are we doing this week and when is the due date? You'll see the due dates are all primarily Sunday night at midnight. And that's really kind of how the course is structured. Okay, so then let me go back to Blackboard. Can I just close this? Okay. So then if I go back into Blackboard, into our lessons tab, please utilize this discussion post. If you ever have any questions, like say we're covering a chapter, you'll see as we go through auditing, a lot of it's just conceptual and rules and procedures and things like that. So there's not a lot of computations, which as an instructor, then I struggle to make like YouTube videos to try to help you with those things, because I don't know for sure what you're struggling with. If we're going to compute something, then that obviously I can do a problem. But if we're just kind of talking about policies and procedures and that type of thing, I don't really know where you're struggling. So use this to post. And then what I like to do then, if I can, if it's something I could then take and make a YouTube video that I could post out there so all the students could share in the instruction, and then that way too I know where you're struggling a little bit. So utilize that in that way. Also help each other. I mean, if you have a question on something, feel free to post it out there and get an answer. So each week when you go into the weekly file folder, you'll have an overview of what we're covering, what's due, and what's coming up. And you'll see a lot of times you're going to have 2 chapters in a week, which kind of doubles your homework. And then if we go in here, this is a file folder that has all your materials. So you'll have a link to the e-textbook, which again, I recommend that you read, because like I said, it really is all kind of procedures and rules and stuff that you do want to kind of concepts that you want to understand. I have detailed lecture notes and then a PowerPoint. Now then I just do a video over that PowerPoint. So really, I've created the PowerPoint. It isn't from the publishers. It's something that I made because the publishers' PowerPoints were so lengthy. So I tried to skinny them down to what I felt like was the most important topics, and then I just talk over it. So really these two go hand in hand, but sometimes people like to listen versus read. But if you like to read, it's all the same material in the PowerPoint. Then what I've tried to do is just take 1 or 2 like discussion cases in the back of the textbook and then kind of walk through them. Again, most of them are not computational, so it's just talking, but hopefully that kind of makes you, like apply it to like a hypothetical scenario, which hopefully will make the material seem a little clearer. That's the goal anyhow. Okay, then if I go back to week 1, then you'll have a chapter for all your assignments. So you're always going to have these 2. You'll always have a chapter quiz and chapter homework, and those will take you right into Pearson. So it's all done on the online site. So sorry, you'll have to sign up and agree. So it's not going to take me right in. But that's where those will be taken, and you'll have multiple attempts on the homework. I think multiple attempts on both, but more help on the homework. So I guess I would start with the homework and then move on to the quiz after you feel comfortable. Then these discussions, I don't have them for all the chapters, but the chapters I do, you would just get 1 extra credit point for answering those. There'll also be extra credit for, I'm the IMA club advisor, so we'll have different speaker events. If you're able to attend those, I will give you 5 extra credit points for attending. So there's always going to be a maximum. I can't go more than 3% of the total points of the class. But so you could get them through those discussion point posts or through attending events if you can. Then you'll see though other chapters as we go through, other chapters may have more homework. So like I said, I'm just randomly picking. No, that's the same. So let's maybe jump to a chapter way ahead. But so as we get further into different chapters, you're going to have some of the Excel homeworks and the data analytics. So here's one that has more. So you have your regular homework and quiz, but then you also have a problem in your textbook that's on data analytics, and then you'll have the Pinnacle group case. So again, those will be assigned though based on the chapters. And just watch for a message from me on that because that'll come out a little bit later. And then all of your grades, let me go back to the test. All your grades will funnel directly from the My Math Lab into Blackboard. So you'll be able to check them there. Then here for the week of your test, there'll be nothing else due. It'll just be your test. I give you a review sheet, and then your test will actually be taken in the My Math Lab, and it'll be timed. So here I give you, and for the most part, they're all multiple choice questions because, like I said, they're very conceptual. So this one, especially the first test, is all concepts and rules and governing bodies and definitions and all that stuff. So here I give you a list of the stuff that you need to know, and then you'll go into your My Math Lab and actually take your test, and it'll be timed for the regular class period, which is 1 hour and 50 minutes. Okay, so that is pretty much everything that I want you to know. And again, you can use your calendar tab to keep track of when thing is due, and then your grades will automatically come in.